Sorry, talk about being dealt a good hand. Joe Cada is a native of Michigan. Recently, he became the youngest main event champion of the World Series of Poker at the ripe old age of 20. Isn't that right, Joe? All right. For that, he collected a prize of more than $8.5 million. Let's find out how he did it and what investors perhaps can learn from him. First, Joe, let me wish you a happy birthday. Now you're just a veteran, you know. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Talk a little bit about the whole idea of how you got started and how you became interested in poker, because it seems as though at one point you were even thinking of maybe going into being a stockbroker, right?
Yeah, I mean, when I was a little kid, I used to watch the Stock Channel all the time, and I was always obsessed with money, and I was really, really good at math, and my dad always thought I was going to go and grow up and be a stockbroker. And I got in cards at an early age, play with friends and family, and it was the thing to do, socialize. You go have a card game at your friend's house, And when I turned 18, started playing online, and started playing really small, and I had a knack for it, and did really good, and had a lot of success at an early age.
Talk a little bit about the whole idea of playing poker, because there are many different styles of poker. Are there sort of actual attributes that you've discovered make you a better poker player?
Yeah, I mean, logic is a huge part, and math too. I mean, a lot of it is all math and logic. It's like a chess game almost, with numbers involved. You have to constantly put yourself in their shoes and think how they're thinking and how you think they would play certain hands and narrow down what they can have. So, I mean, a lot of it's a logic game, and
What are some of the common mistakes that you find, not only maybe yourself making, but when you play opponents? What are some of the sort of common errors or the miscalculations that you encounter?
I notice a lot of people, especially when they play long hours, they get really tired, and then they lose focus and they make dumb mistakes that they normally wouldn't make when they're wide awake and not so tired. Also, when people lose money or something like that, they may go on tilt, which is, they may lose their edge for a second and do something sporadic. So, I mean, it's all about staying focused and mostly staying mentally prepared.
What about the bluffing? You and I were just talking before you came on about the origins of the word poker, the German word poken, the idea being to bluff. How important is bluffing in the game?
Bluffing, you're going to have to bluff in the game. I mean, sometimes not necessarily. It all depends on your opponent, though. I mean, poker is one of those games where you can't come in with a certain playing style or strategy every time and win. You have to constantly adjust to how your table's playing and adjust to how your opponents are playing. So, some players are maybe more key to bluff, and some situations may be better to bluff than others. And, it's one of those things you learn over experience, the better times, and when not to and when to.
When you won the most recent World Series of Poker, it wasn't just a one-shot deal. I mean, you were down at one point quite considerably, and you really rallied. You came back to win the championship. Explain a little bit about what goes through your mind when you're down so much. Do you really feel that you can always win?
I mean, when I was down, I was down very low. I probably played over thousands of tournaments. I never seen anything like it. I mean, I got really lucky at the final table, but I positioned myself to get there throughout the whole tournament. There was a lot of players, but I got really lucky at the final table, and when I was really low in chips, it wasn't looking good, to tell you the truth. Pretty much thought I was going to be out, and went on a big run, and next thing you know, you can become, short stack to chip leader in no time.
A lot of the phrases that we've learned, ace in the hole, blue chip, that also comes from the game of poker. Is there anything that you've been able to connect between playing poker and playing against adversaries to, let's say, investing? I mean, you say that you at one point wanted to be in the stock business.
Yeah, I mean, stock market is pretty similar to poker. The guys, I mean, a lot of the big guys that I know of actually came up through Wall Street and the stock market that I'm good friends with. So, I mean, hopefully I can transition there slowly, but, I still have some learning to do. And I'm...
So is this an announcement that you're going to actually start trying to get into the investment business?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I have a lot of money now, and different investment options are possible.
Does playing for a lot of money produce differences in style of play as opposed to playing for a little bit of money?
Yes, I mean, not for me, quite so. But for a lot of players, when big money's on the line, they may, be a little more scared to play and play less hands, and try to move up in the payroll. And but it all depends on the player, and you have to kind of like figure out what kind of player you're playing against.
All right, got to know your adversaries.
Yes.
All right, I want to thank you very much, Joe Cada, and congratulations on winning the World Series of Poker, and enjoy the winnings.
Thank you for having me.
Good.